Giusto, personale che quello. Check one. बोलो सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय शरणम Sri Ram devotees. Namaste, special welcome here this morning as we are here to join today as we perform the Antyeshti Sanskar or the final rite ceremony for our dear late Magi. As we are here today to join, I would ask all of you to join with me. We are going to offer prayer, we are going to offer our love with faith, with devotion today as we pray and we say, God, we are asking for her to have a safe and a peaceful transition into the hereafter. As we pray together, the only thing that you can do at this point in time, you send your love, you send your light, you send your vibration that you hold and you house within you, and you ask for it to assist her in this process of her journey at this point in time. As we are about to commence, firstly we begin by performing a Sankalp declaration, stating what is being done here at this point in time to the universe. You see, the universe has certain laws that governs it. And the mantras that are chanted, they are formulas that activate certain energies and vibrations in the atmosphere, sending a message, right? Everybody chant, repeat after me, say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Vishnu 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 Srimad Bhagavato Mahapurushasya Vishnu Raga Prabhatamanasya Deshi Brahmano Hinagritye Praharade Shri Svetavaraga Devavasvatman Mantre Ashtavinchatatme Kalive Kalipatam Charane Bhur Loke Chanada Deshe Larme Nagare Titin Hilbat Grami Maryala Purushottam Shri Ram Raje Vikramaritya Samvatamuk Mase Amuk Pakshe Amuk Tita Amuk Vasre Amuk Nakshatre Amuk Yogi Amuk Karane Amuk Rasi Sthite Surya Rakshanayini Shashanke Cha Shesheshu Graheshu Yatha Yatha Rashi Sthan Sthiteshu Amuk Gotrasya Amuk Namasya Amuk Pretasya Anteshi Karmaham Karishye Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanur Mardanam Devaki Parmanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langate Giram Yarkapatumaham Vande Parmananda Madhavam Om Yam Brahma Varnindra Rudram Marutaha Survantri Vyahistavehi Vere Sangha Prakramopanishrahi Gayantyam Samaga Dhyana Vastit Targatena Manasa Pashyantyam Yogino Yasyantam Navirusra Surgana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Harihi Om Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Bolo Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai Sharanam Syavar Ramchandra ki Jai Sharanam. So today as we are here, we are joining in the performance of the final rite ceremony, right? And this is very, very important to understand that today we are saying our final goodbyes. And when you say goodbye now, that may sound like a difficult thing, right? Because nobody really wants to say goodbye, right? Not at all, right? But I want to lift your awareness a little bit today. I want you to gain some understanding as to what is happening so that we can try to balance the emotions a little bit better. Now, yes, as human beings at the end of the day, we will express emotions, it's only understandable. But just to gain some more understanding, right? When understanding is there, there's less fear and less worry and that kind of thing, right? So the reality is that the individual that you would have once known, now you all would know this already, right? Because we've had many discussions based on these things. The individual who had once resided within the body or within the vessel called the body was the one who we would refer to as Maggie, right? Or your mother. We would have given an identity to that soul that would have housed itself within the vessel called a body. For too long, many of us, what happens is that we get so attached to the physical, you understand? That we keep identifying, saying, well, this is who I am. When you stand and look in the mirror, you watch yourself and you're like, oh, well, this is who I am. This is Balmesh, you know? And Uncle T watching the mirror, he's seeing Tilla, right? But at the end of the day, the reality is that that is not who you are. That is not your truth. That is not your reality. And Maggie is one person, spent a lot of time around me in the last little period there, and she would have become aware of that as well, knowing that she is not the body. So personally, at the end of the day, I know that her transition will be different from the average individual. We'll come to that a little bit later on, right? Nevertheless, when we are here, for the sake of your understanding, when a funeral happens, most of us tend to wake up at that point in time. But the reality is that we shouldn't wait until a situation like this happens and then we become awakened and all of these things, right? And it's like, oh, you know, death is real. Death is something that is going to come one day, you know? This is something that we must accept in our life. Because only when you accept it in your life, that's the only time that you'll start living, not so? If you don't accept that one day death is going to come, you're going to live life aimlessly, not intentionally. But my dear friends, I want to urge you all today that it's very, very essential and very, very important that we must live life intentionally. Every single thing that you do in your life, it must be intentional. It must be done with a certain level of awareness, a certain level of focus. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? So anything that you're doing, you're talking, you want to be focused, you want to be present. You're eating, you want to be present. Anything that you're doing, not while you're having a conversation with someone here, you're studying something that is going on 10 miles down the road. It's like when you're doing a puja, right? You're doing the puja here, you're the present, Baba Ral, chanting, mantraning going on the road, and you're studying if they bring the roti come. Yeah, you're studying something else because the mind is chanchal, right? Sri Satya Sai Baba says that the mind, this is very important, the mind is like a monkey. But he says it's not just like a monkey, it's like a mad monkey. But it's not just like a mad monkey, it's like a mad drunken monkey. He then goes on to say, but it's not just like a mad drunken monkey, it's like a mad drunken monkey with mass popia. Jai Bhagwan. Imagine that is the mind that you are housing every single day. Now it's not inside of your physical being, but it's right around, right? You are housing that, and that is at some level influencing your behavior and all of the things that you do on a daily basis. And this thing is like a mad drunken monkey with mass popia. How are we going to live life, my dear friends? If it is at some level, we don't bring some focus and some awareness to the mind, to concentrate and to know what it is we are doing. Right? So today as we are here, we are performing a few rituals. And as we perform these rituals, each one of them has its own significance. Now, in different cultures, there are different practices. And in Trinidad and Tobago, we practice certain things. In India, there are over 700 languages. There are many cultures, not one. And each different aspect of India practices something different, right? So that's the first thing we need to understand. What you see in Trinidad and Tobago, you may see some different things happening. But the reason is that it's based on what tradition you follow and all of these different kind of things that happen, right? So as we begin in every ritual that we do in Hinduism, we always begin by performing purification first of all, because that's very important, right? Om Madhyam Kugotrasya Mukapretasya Pretatva-nivarnartam Mritistani Shavanimitam Snanam Meyadiyate Tavopatishtam Pretanantadayakam. Next, we're going to offer a gift of Chandan. As we offer this gift of Chandan here today, Chandan is placed for a very, very significant reason, right? We use it for a very important reason. Chandan is made from, anybody else? Right, sandalwood, right? Sandalwood is a substance that has a very sweet fragrance, but also it has a cooling effect, right? So usually we will place it on the third eye, or what is called as the pineal gland. The reason being is that normally when you enter tapasya and devotion and all of these things, what happens? This is the Agnaya chakra, the fire chakra. What happens to this area here? Exactly. Amar says it becomes heated. So you see these boys know these things, right? It becomes heated. So by placing the chandan that is made from sandalwood, that has a cooling effect, what does it do? It cools the energy center here. I can see that. Amar said that, right? We cool the energy center here, which brings a balance to the energies in the body, makes you very calm, very relaxed, and you are able to focus. But if you observe very carefully here today, on all these young gentlemen that's standing here today, the 5 of them, you can see very carefully that I placed the chandan on various places. I placed it by the eye, I placed it by the ears, by the throat, and also on the hands, right? We are praying here and saying today, Bhagwan, as I come before you and I'm performing this ritual here at this point in time, I am reminding myself of something and I'm asking you to bless me. As I place the chandan here, between my eyes, I am asking you to bless my eyes. So in this world, when I look, I will look and try to see the good things in this world, right? What you see, what you look for is what you will get, right? As I place it by my ears, I am asking you, God, to bless and purify my ears. So when I listen in this world, I listen to good things. I do not listen to gossip and all of those things, right? When I speak, Bhagwan, bless my throat, bless my voice, so that I may speak the truth. I may not mislead others. I may not hurt others and those kind of things, right? Bhagwan, as I place it on my hands, I ask you to bless my hands. So in this world, as I live and continue to exist, may I perform good karma, good actions. So, Om Madhyamukagotrasya Mukapretasya Pretatva-nivarnartam Ratistane Shavanamatam Chandanam Meyadiyate Tavopatishtatam Pretanantadayakam. Now we are going to offer the gift of the couscous, right? This here is known as essence, so it's known as perfume. So Arun, why do we wear perfume, right? To smell? Alright, good. Let me come laugh out. Right? So to smell sweet, right? Because when you smell sweet, what happens? It creates attraction. Very good. Right? You see, if I, this morning, as I always say, if I decided to not take a bath and I decided to come here now, what was going to happen? By the time I reach here, well, you will leave. Right? Jai Bhagwan. So the sweet smell, it makes you want to be present. It makes you want to be around. So here's what. Wherever there's a sweet scent, there's a balance in the energies in the atmosphere. You may not be able to see that, but I'm telling you to understand and see. So that's an area where you want to be present. That's an area where the vibration of God wants to be present. So as you spray the essence here, we are asking for a balance of all the energies in the atmosphere. Om Madhyam Kugotrasya Mukapretasya Pretatva-nivarnartam Nrithisthane Shavatnimitam Gandham Meyadiyate Tavopatishtatam Pretanantadayakam. Sing with me. Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. Jai Hare Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Radha Mohan Radha Jeevan, Mangal Kunja Vihari, Bolo Mangal Kunja Vihari. Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. Jai Hare Krishna, Govardhan Giridhari. Next, we offer the gift of the Pushpamala, the mala made of flowers, right? So, as we offer the gift of the Pushpamala, the mala made of flowers, today, if you observe very carefully, these malas, normally when you place a mala on the neck of someone, the mala will be whole, right? But today when you place the mala, you see that the mala is broken, right? And I'm sure you've seen that before and wondering why it is broken. Some of us may know, some may not, right? So the purpose of the mala, first of all, when you give a flower to somebody on the tea, when you give a flower to somebody, what does that flower mean?
Shows your appreciation, your love for it.
Very good. See? That's well playing with. So, right from Amar go back along the road, all of them. So, it shows the appreciation, it shows your love. So, a flower is an expression of your love. So, when you give it here, you're expressing your love for your mother, wife, sister, the case may be, right? Aunt, like that kind of thing. Apart from that, the purpose of it being broken is you are saying today, as I express my love to you, I am saying that we are creating separation because you are now leaving this physical realm. You will no longer exist in this particular realm, but you will transition into another realm of existence. So as I give my love to you once more, for a final time I give my love here to you today as I perform the final rites, I'm giving my love to you and releasing you, my dear loved one, so that you can transition peacefully. Yeah? Good love. Take your time. Om Madhyamukhukotrasya Mukhapretasya Pretatunivarnartam Pushpamalamyadiyate Davopatishtatam Pretanantadayakam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sing now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai Sharanam. Now we're going to make the sacred light, the arati. This one is a very important one, very touchy topic to be very particular how I say this, right? But again, it's my duty to educate you. I don't force anybody to do anything, but I educate you, say you learn. If you take it, you take it. You don't take it, Jai Bhagwan, right? It's as much as I can do. So today when the arati is performed here, basically everything that we do, all of the rituals, pertain to asking God to take back the 5 elements that make up this body, right? And we are sending off Mama in a respectful manner. The fire here represents the fire element within that makes up the body. So you're saying, God, we are asking you to accept back the fire element that makes up this body at this point in time. When these individuals here perform the arati, there is a significance. When you perform the arati at the end of the day, anybody else, there is no significance. Now, I'm not going to stop anybody, so don't get me wrong, don't fight nothing, right? But it's up to me to tell you, because in life, I've seen this too much, right? We do so many things that we don't know, and we just do it, and we go down the road, keep doing it, and nobody asks anybody why, and all of these things, and we just keep going down the road, right? When someone dies, it's the only time you see people line up from here till the junction to do arati, yes or no? No, that's why you're supposed to say, yes, Baba, right? This is true, yeah? That's the only time people line up from here to the junction to do arati. When they're living, why don't you come do arati one day? I'm asking. Why don't you come one day and perform arati when they're alive? You have your mom alive, when do you do the arati? When they're alive. You have your dad alive? Mama's gone now, right? But dad is still here. When do you cherish and love him? No. Because tomorrow may never come and tomorrow may never be. You do it when they can lift their hands and they can bless you. When the life force is still present within the body. Because you all are very aware of this. So it's not like I'm saying something strange, right? You know that Mama was the one that was in the body, right? So you do it when that person that you love and you can adore, that divine spark of God is present within the body. You do not argue an empty vessel unless you are performing a ritual or the rite itself. So I said it. I mean, afterwards from there it is up to you what you're doing. Jai Bhagwan. Right? So with that being said, we perform the arti now. As you wave it. You all touch hands on for you. Yeah? Yeah. Om Madhyam Kugotrasya Mukapretasya Preta Parivar Nartam Ratistani Shavandamatam Deepam Mayariyate Tavopatishtam Pretanantadayakam. Let's sing together with love. Jai Krishna Hari, Shri Krishna Hari, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hari, Jai Krishna Hari, Shri Krishna Hari, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hari. जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हूँ आशा का दूर किनारा हूँ बोलो जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हूँ आशा का दूर किनारा हूँ और कोई न केवल हारा हो फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करो जय 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 कृष्ण हरि जय कृष्ण हरि श्री कृष्ण हरि दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरि तू चाहे तू सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तू सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे बोलो वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय So with that being said, just for me to give you a little insight, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita is made up of 18 chapters, 700 verses, right? Chapter 2 deals specifically with the life, the soul, the existence, and that kind of thing, right? As I was saying from the beginning, coming into this material existence, when we are born, being attached to the body, we grow into more attachments throughout our lifetime. Then somebody comes and tells you detach. Then you say, well, Baba, how to detach, boy? All these attachments that I have here. When you are born, you come as a child. When someone is a child, right? When you were a child, you had a name at that point in time? Before they gave you a name? I want you to think about that for a second, put that into perspective. You didn't have a name, right? When you are a child, when you are not born. They say, oh, it's a Amar. No. They say it's a boy, right? It's a Arun. No. It's a boy. They identify you based on the gender of the body. But before entering the body, that divinity that you are, it is referred to as it's what we call a soul, right? But Swamiji says there's a little bit of an empty word, right? So you have to be more particular. You see when you say it in Sanskrit, it's a little bit more powerful, right? You see, not every Sanskrit word can translate into English exactly, right? So, Jivatma, we say that life force, so that divine spark that is present within the physical body. Ramayana says, Lord Shiva says in the beginning of the Sri Ramachandra, he says, Ishvara Amsa Jiva Avinashi. He says, each and every one of us, we are part and parcel of God. Say that again. He says, each and every one of us, we are part and parcel of God. Who does that mean? These boys says, that makes us God expressing itself in human form. Very good that you understand this. See? Right? It's important for us to receive this knowledge and to understand that. Each and every one of us, my dear friends present here, we are divinity expressing itself in human form. We need to lift our awareness to that point to be able to understand that, right? Every religion, you'll hear it in a different form of fashion. In Hinduism, we say that we are part and parcel of God, part of that divine supreme Lord. We are the Atma, He is the Paramatma. Very, very simple. Christianity, they say you're created in the likeness and the image of God. Right? Everywhere you go, the philosophy ties in and it connects at some level. We just have to understand. The understanding has to be there, right? Interpretation and all of these things. So we are divinity expressing itself. So if we are divinity expressing itself, right? They say that we are God expressing itself in human form. We have come upon the face of the earth to do what? They call us what? Human what? Human beings. But some of us are not human beings now. We are human doings. Because every day we're only looking to do something. We forget to be. Right? We're only looking to do. Right? Now auntie and right one morning, my mother, as soon as she wake up, Jai Bhagwan. All the time. Same thing, eh? When they are alive, right? All the time, that is all they are doing. Going all the time, right? We have to take some time to be, my dear friend, because you are born to be a being, not a doing. To be means to experience. Now these things that I'm telling you, Maggie ji would have understood this, because she spent, as I said, some time around me in some sessions that I would have had. We had many discussions and she would ask questions, and that's when she adopted me, right? And she said, I'm my next son, right? So today I've also lost a mother, by the way, right? With that being said, we are not divinity expressing itself. Come here to be and to experience. When are we going to take that time to experience life for ourselves? They say, well, Baba, well, everyday experience. And really? When last did you take 5 minutes out of your busy schedule, your life and your time to say, I'm going to take 5 minutes to close my eyes and just sit down and just breathe? Just bask in the glorious experience called life. Say, oh God, Baba, I'm busy now, I have no time. Last time I asked somebody, said, I have no time. I said, really, you have no time? Oh, Jai Bhagwan, I'm so sorry for you. 24 hours in a day and you have no time? Well, best you ain't exist if you have time from now. You know, what is the purpose of existing if you have no time? No. You're just occupying space, you know. You need to make use of this existence, because this life, my dear friends, it's a gift. This life that you have, it is a gift that is given to you by God for you to come here and enjoy all the wonderful and beautiful things in His creation. Maggie Ji would have lived her life and she would have enjoyed and she would have left lessons for you all today to hear. She would have left an example, right? Her beautiful children, her husband standing here today, a family standing and supporting, right? Look at a wonderful job that was done by this mother. How many of us are going to take that time to make that time for ourselves, to grow, to have the best experience here, so that when we leave smiling and we leave everybody else crying? That's the goal, you know? Because what you're doing right now, what you're saying to people, when I go from here, nobody might remember my name or how I look, all of that, but what would they remember? The knowledge that I leave behind, the experiences that I leave behind, the memories that would have been shared. That is what will be remembered. That is what we remember. Right? God said, it would have been said in various scriptures, right? Matra Devo Bhava, it starts in the Vedas, the authoritative scriptures in Hinduism. Honor thy mother as God. Our mother becomes our first walking, talking, living God upon the face of the earth. The one who gives life to us, nurtures us, nourishes us, takes care of us. For 9 months, she carries us in her womb, bears all the struggles and pains and difficulties. I can't even begin to imagine what that sort of experience is. I don't want to know, Jai Bhagwan. I can only imagine how difficult a thing it is. And then you start growing up as a child, and then you be fed, right? She takes care of you, nurtures, nourishes you, teaches you. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right? That's where it begins, right? The alphabet. Right? Mommy cooks. She feeds you. She makes sure you have lunch for school. Right? She gives you a little spanking to figure it out. You ever get spanking? Alright, no. She love all it too much, huh? You see? Right, that's it now. Right? That is love, right? But she keeps you on track. And that mother protects a child like no one else would. No Because sometimes father takes that role as well, but they have their own significance. Today we talk about mother. Yeah? That mother makes all the sacrifice in the world for that child. All of us here to be existing, you are a mother. What do we give back in return for the sacrifices that would have been made by that mother? What can you give back in return? What can you do now? The way that you live your life. The way that you live your life now, the things that you do now, the mark that you make in this world, my dear brothers. Right? The mark that you make now, that is what matters. And how much time do you have? Do we know how much time we have? So what time do we really have? We only have now. We only have the present moment. And the present is called a gift, my dear friends. So treat it as such. All we have is the eternal now, the present. The moment I said that, it became the past. Just before I said it, it was the future. Put that into perspective for a second. I take a lot of time to reflect on these things and understand this. Right? All we have is the present moment. Maggie G would have made the most of her present. You now, she's leaving you with that lesson where you need to take the time to make the most of your present that you have, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Baba don't have to say that 10,000 times. Nobody else don't have to say it, but sometimes you have to be reminded. But I want you after today, nobody should have to remind you of that. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you say? Oh God, the next day again? See, following gardener, right? No, what do you say? What do you say? When I asked them, I taught them. What would I have taught to you guys? Whenever you ask, how are you doing? What do we say? I'm awesome. No matter what, you don't ever say I'm sick, I'm tired, you're feeling good. You know why? Because your words have power. You speak it into existence in your life. Right? Every time she would come on our sessions, right? Satsangs or whatever meditation sessions and different things are, she would come with a smile. Exactly. They all know that, right? Always the smile. She was excited to show up. She was happy. No matter what time or where it was or when. She would be happy. She would be happy to exist. She has lived that full life. The lessons are there now for you. What we do with it at this point in time is what is important. So make the most powerful thing I can tell you is to make the most of your existence. Do not let it go in vain, because a day and a time will come, my dear friends, when you will not have a chance to again. And that is the time, according to the scripture, when Siddha Duni Duni Pachikai. God says when you lose the opportunity to chant my name, all the time I get time to chant, walk and go in the mandir, Baba, I can't make Baba tired. I can't make, You all tired? Me tired? No, Baba, that is your job. Oh, really? Really? Oh, really? I do this by choice. It's not a job. Right? Devotees, we need to think what we just be saying sometimes. Oh, well, I could stay home and pray. Why is a mandir built? Everything has a reason and a significance. Why is a masjid there? Why is a church there? It has a reason and a significance. And I'm tired of seeing them empty in Trinidad and Tobago. Sorry to sound like a politician or something, right? But I hope it doesn't come off as that. That's not what we're here for. We have to make a difference. And I'm sure that Maggie would have wanted me to say this to you all, because she would come to hear me say these things all the time, and she was totally and absolutely in love with it. Adored me to the core of her very existence and her very being. Ask any one of her family members. Right? We need to make that difference. Stop waiting for Tom and Harry and Mo and Larry and Joe and everybody else to do it. Well, when them do it, then I will do it too. Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world. You want the world to change, start now. I always say, I did not come in this world to make friends. I came here to make a difference. I be Akela, Jai be Akela. I ain't going to nobody when I go. Me carrying your baggage. I'm carrying my own one. So please take note of yours that you're going to carry with you, right? What do you want to leave behind and what do you want to carry? Bolo Harricharan-Samlal ki Jai. Shivrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. With that being said, I'd like to call upon at this point in time. I'd like to call upon RNG, the elder son here of Maggie at this point in time, as he would do the eulogy.
day, everybody. Sitaram, good morning. Firstly, on behalf of my father, my brother, and I want to thank everyone who made an effort to be here today, whether in person or via the live stream. We are here today to celebrate the life of a remarkable human being, Mahadai Harricharan-Samlal, better known as Mahadai. Born on the 16th of May, 1959, Maggie was the eldest of 4 children to her dad, Boise, aka Biggs, and her mom, Parvati Harricharan. She was followed by Shanti, Shan, and Tila. Mommy spent her childhood and teenage years in her hometown of Rio Claro, up until she left to build her own home. Being the eldest, Mommy always felt that she needed to take care of her younger siblings, and this continued throughout her lifetime, even up to recently, before she passed. As a result of this, she developed an independent mindset from an early age. I remember Mommy telling me that she started work from the age of 18, and very soon after she bought her first car, a 120Y. She was such a selfless person that when her brothers and sister got their licenses, she gladly let them use her car to travel to and from work and school. In her 43 years of government service, Maggie met a lot of people, as she worked in many parts of South, Central and North Trinidad, and went through the ranks of clerks 1 to 4, cashier, accounting assistant, up until she retired as an accounting executive at the Industrial Court of Port of Spain in 2019. Her family was always the most important thing in her life. It has been proven that sisters have a stronger bond than brothers, and this was true for Mommy and Auntie Shanti. Before marriage, Mommy and her sister did everything together. I heard stories of them leaving Rio Claro just to go Pennywise in San Fernando for cosmetics and to do all their shopping together. They even visited Caracas, Margarita, and down the islands together. Another memorable story was when Mommy and her siblings, together with their cousins, in their 20s and teenage years, they loaded up about 9 cousins in a van tray of Uncle Gobin's pickup and were going down to Mayaro. On their way back, they searched everywhere for mangoes until they finally found a tree, and after picking some, a man with a gun came out and shouted, "What are you doing here?" Mommy was such a devout Hindu that she and her family attended Ghat Road Temple weekly. It was at a satsang in that very temple where she met Daddy, and of course the rest is history. They married in 1991 and left Rio Claro to start a family in Harricharan. In 1992 they moved into their new home, and 1 year later I was born. Around the age of 4, I told them I wanted a baby brother, and in 1997, a bouncing baby boy named Amar was born. Anyone who knew Maggie knew she loved to talk, whether in person or via phone call. She always had a very distinctive voice that you could hear from very far away. But she was always caring and humble, giving good advice and comforting words to anyone who needed to hear it. Mommy was always willing to help others and would go out of her way, even if she had to help in any way she could. Gardening was one of her favorite pastimes, as everyone can see, all the plants and pots all around. But being a mother, I would say, was Mommy's greatest achievement. She sacrificed and tried her utmost best to provide the most comfortable home for her 2 boys. She supported us in every aspect of our lives, and I will forever be grateful that we were both able to spend the last few moments on earth with her. Everyone knew that Mommy had a special love for both her parents. They were her whole world. She was such a devoted daughter that Mommy gave her mom a visit within minutes of her passing. Nani said that Mommy looked so beautiful and healthy. She said that Maggie reassured her that there was no need to worry about her because she is well. I ask everyone, please take a moment to look at the person next to you. You may know the person or you may not. You might be meeting them for the first time, but we all come from different walks of life. The one thing that we have in common is that we all care about Maggie. I'm grateful to each and everyone for recognizing my mother as the wonderful woman that she was. Thank you all for taking the time to be here today.
At this point in time, if there's anybody else at this point in time in the family that would like to take, or a friend, relative that would like to take the time to just say a few words on behalf of the family, or a few words of blessings, you can feel free to do so at this point. Is there anyone?
Namaste और सीताराम, a pleasant good morning. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I am Govind, often called Govind by Maggie. Today it's really solemn and sad day. This is us saying goodbye to Maggie. I think all of us who are here, we have known Maggie to be that very caring, kind, loving person, very, very much family oriented. As Arun would have said, that she performed several roles, be that of her daughter, a mother, a wife, a cousin, an employee. And I think she modeled all of those roles in a very significant way. And if there's one thing we could take from the life of Maggie, it is how can we be better human beings in whatever role that we actually fulfill from time to time. Maggie was indeed a truly good human being, a very devoted human being. From the jail, we thank you very much for the last few months and the last times that you spent with Maggie. And you would have actually emphasized that she did actually have the blessing to spend the last couple months very close to God. I want to also take the opportunity to also recognize the contribution that Maggie's mom and dad would have made into the child as model parents. It's never an easy thing for any parent to be saying goodbye to a child. And only they would know what that feeling is. They are feeling. We all know in our own hearts how we are feeling. So we want to recognize them and we want to pray to God that we give them strength to cope with this. I also want to recognize Roddy, a truly humble person and a good husband. I don't think that there were very few times that they were Maggie and Roddy were not together in the business. We were very close. And Roddy, I know that you will need all the strength and support and spiritual support to help you deal with this loss. Arun, Amar, I know it from Bangladesh, you will have a great support. And I want to assure you all that we are here for you all, the entire family. And I personally want to give you the assurance that we are here to support you. This is a very difficult for us. Right, T and Shanti, you all know how close we are as cousins. Right, we remember the days before we all married. All of those lines, be it going to Carcass, whether we're going to the North Coast Drive, or whether we're going to Magdalena, Tuku, Mayaro, whatever. Alright, Pinal to Mayaro was like nothing. Right? Those are the good times. And I think that it has helped us to actually build a kind of bond and also to have a different kind of grief in losing Maggie. I also want to say that, when Maggie, wherever she worked, she left a significantly good legacy. Up to last night, one of my colleagues at the industrial court was asking me if the funeral had been streamed, and I was very happy to share the stream with a couple of persons from the court and a couple of persons from abroad. But I know others are looking on. I just wanted to again emphasize that if you could use the life of Maggie as a reflection and to allow us to reflect into how are we living our lives, as Pandit rightly reminded us that tomorrow is not guaranteed to any of us. We can only live in the now, and what do we do now is what is important. And that now is every moment. So I pray that wherever Maggie's soul is, that she continue to sleep and rest in peace. Maggie, you'll be missed. We love you. Sitaram.
Thank you very much, Chief. Is there anybody else at this point in time that would like to say something? Anybody else? Yes? No? All right. Mukupriyasya Bristani Shavadnimatam Yeshate Pindomayari Tavopatishtam Pretanantadayakam. At this point in time, I'll ask each and every one of you to stand and join me as we offer our final prayer with faith, with love and devotion here today, as we thank God for giving us this opportunity to send off our dear Maggie in the most wonderful way possible. After I conclude, I'll give everyone a chance. You can come up here and you can view, you can pay your final respects before we proceed to go to the Mosque to pray. With that being said, at this point in time, I want you to pray from your heart, and whatever way you know how to pray, and whatever way you understand how to pray, I want you to send your love, send your light, send your blessing at this point in time with her so that she can transition into a wonderful place as we pray with faith, love and devotion. Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Paramanabam Suresham Vishwadaram Gagana Sadasham Ekabrandam Shubhangam Lakshmikandam Kamalayanam Yogi Pradyana Gamyam Vande Vishnava Vaiharam Sarvalokaikanarantam. Om together. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhushya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Manadini Dano Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundraikaksha Preta Moksha Prado Bhava. Om Predarma Shanti Om Predarma Shanti Om Predarma Shanti Om Panchatattva Shantir Bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om with faith, love and devotion. बोलो सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। शरणम। आराम से बैठिए, take your seats most comfortably. So we'll give a chance firstly to the immediate family to come up and pay their final respects. You have the flowers and stuff there, you guys can use it all, right? And then everybody else, you can come in a nice orderly fashion, you come around this way, you can view and then you can exit on this way, right? Then we'll proceed shortly to the Mosquito Creek for cremation. Thank you again for being such a wonderful and attentive audience. I hand over back to the guy in charge of the mic. You can go ahead at this point. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.
Jag såg det. Och det är med runt på för den här stick på för.
Yeah, good.
Jag vet inte. Där.
Very good. Thank you, darling. Mommy. I didn't get it. I didn't know it. Mommy, I did.
Everybody stand, please.
Asli video. Siku Polen. Halo guys. Halo. Monan. Aynen.
Harricharan-Samlal.
Wake up, mom. Mommy. Mom, look right here. Come, wake up. Come on. Come, mom.
Get out.
Go back and see me on the side, okay?
Let's go, guys. Everybody take out. Feet forward.
Oh,